All right, let's talk about Wi-Fi. Specifically, let's decode the secret language your router is trying to speak. You've seen all the symbols, you've heard the tech jargon, but what does any of it really mean for how fast you can stream or how secure your network is? Well, let's jump in and find out. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You've seen this alphabet soup of letters and numbers plastered all over the box of a new router or in the specs for your laptop. It honestly feels like you need a special decoder ring just to figure out what you're buying.
Well, guess what? Today, we're giving you that decoder ring. We're going to translate all this geek speak into practical knowledge that you can actually use. By the time we're done here, you'll be able to read this stuff like a pro.
Okay, first things first, let's tackle the one thing everybody, and I mean everybody, cares about: speed. We're going to climb what I call the Wi-Fi speed ladder and see how we went from a super slow crawl to the light speed connections we're all starting to expect. So check this out. This is pretty much the entire history of Wi-Fi speed in 4 huge leaps. We started way back at just 11 megabits per second. Then we jumped to 54, then a massive leap to 600, and finally we smashed right through into the gigabit era. Each of these steps was a new standard that completely changed the game, taking us from just being able to browse a website to streaming multiple 4K movies at once. And here's how all those old, confusing technical names translate to the simple numbers we see today. So Wi-Fi 4, that's just N. Wi-Fi 5 is AC. And the new stuff, Wi-Fi 6, is AX. It's a really simple rule. The higher the Wi-Fi number, the newer and faster the tech is. But take a look at Wi-Fi 6E. It has the same top speed as Wi-Fi 6, but it added an entirely new frequency band. And trust me, that is a huge deal.
Speaking of those frequency bands, this is one of the most important things to get your head around. The best way to think about it is like a highway system for all your data. And just like a real highway, not all the lanes are the same, and picking the right one can make all the difference for your connection. This really lays out the big trade-off perfectly. Think of the 2.4 gigahertz band as a long, winding country road. Yeah, it goes really far, and it's great at getting through obstacles like walls, but it's also kind of slow and gets incredibly crowded with everything from your neighbor's Wi-Fi to your microwave oven. Now, the 5 gigahertz band, that's a wide-open multi-lane superhighway. It's way, way faster and has a lot less traffic, but the signal just doesn't travel as far or punch through walls as well.
And then you have the new kid on the block, the 6 gigahertz band. This is available on devices that support Wi-Fi 6E and the upcoming Wi-Fi 7. And if 5 gigahertz is a super highway, then 6 gigahertz is like a brand new, private VIP expressway that's just been opened for the latest and greatest devices. It is incredibly wide and it's almost completely empty, which means you get the absolute best performance with practically zero interference.
So how in the world are you supposed to remember which standard uses which highway? Don't worry, I've got some really easy tricks for you. For the old 2.4 gigahertz only stuff, just remember that B and G go together. For the standards that only use 5 gigahertz, notice that A and AC both start with the letter A. And for the flexible ones that can use both bands, just think of N and AX as the new and extra advanced options. Simple, right?
Okay, so you know how to pick the right data highway for pure speed, but how do you make sure that highway is actually secure? That brings us to our next mission, security. And instead of just trying to memorize a bunch of boring acronyms, we're going to play detective. You're going to learn how to spot the clues that tell you just how locked down a network really is.
Right. This is the key. You really don't have to know every single technical detail. You just need to learn how to spot the key methods, the little fingerprints that each security standard leaves behind. It's all about recognizing the pattern. First up is case file WEP. The big clue here? It uses a single static key that never, ever changes. And that is its fatal flaw. As soon as a hacker gets that one key, they're in forever. Seriously, if you ever see a network that's still using WEP, just stay away. It is not secure at all. Next up, WPA. Now this was supposed to be the replacement for WEP, but honestly, it's pretty outdated itself now. The dead giveaway, the smoking gun if you will, is if you see any mention of TKIP encryption. TKIP means you are looking at the old and vulnerable WPA standard.
And now for the one you probably have at home right now, WPA2. The clue to look for here is AES encryption. AES is this military-grade encryption that's basically been the rock-solid foundation of home Wi-Fi security for more than a decade. It's been the reliable workhorse, the gold standard for a very long time. And that brings us to our most modern case file, WPA3. Its key clue is a method called SAE. Now, this is a massive leap forward. What it does, in simple terms, is protect your connection even if a hacker guesses your password, which makes it incredibly tough to crack with modern attacks. If WPA2 was the gold standard, WPA3 is definitely the platinum standard.
And finally, there's a special case: enterprise security. The clue here isn't an encryption type, but a whole process. If a Wi-Fi network makes you type in a unique username and password that gets checked against a central server that's called a radius server, then you're on an enterprise network. This is what big organizations and schools use, not what you'll find in your living room.
Whew, all right. We have covered a lot of ground. We've climbed that speed ladder, and we've played Wi-Fi detective with all the security protocols. So now, let's put it all together into one simple, powerful cheat sheet. This is that aha moment where everything is going to click into place.
First, let's lock in the speed standards. This is your decoder ring. So when you see that simple marketing name on the box, Wi-Fi 4, Wi-Fi 5, Wi-Fi 6, you now know exactly what technical standard it's built on. No more guessing. Just remember the simple rule: higher number, better tech.
And here it is, your security detective's final cheat sheet. You don't have to remember the protocols anymore, just the clues. If you spot TKIP, think old and bad. If you see AES, think good and reliable. And if you see SAE, you know you've got the best and most modern security available. It really is that straightforward. So now that you're fluent in the language of Wi-Fi, let's take a quick peek at the very near future. The next generation, Wi-Fi 7, is promising a theoretical top speed of a mind-boggling 46 gigabits per second.
Yeah, you heard that right. That is nearly 5 times faster than the already crazy fast speeds we get with Wi-Fi 6. Which, of course, leaves us with one final big question. From true augmented reality to fully immersive virtual worlds and instant access to the cloud, what new things will we even be able to do when our wireless connections are that powerful? That's what's coming next.